Hey, Davey.
How are we doing?
I'm all right. How are you getting on?
I'm all right, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the nights again.
Dark
Here we
night,
go.
yeah.
Oh, we're getting on now that we've sorted out the internet world again. We're doing fine. So far, so good. Yeah, it's dark. It's really dark up here, and it's been sleek at mist all day in
We had a
Shetland.
lovely day today until it got dark.
Is that right?
Mm.
Dundee in the sun, Shetland in the sleek at mist. We took the dugout for a walk, and we went down near the airport, and there was not an aeroplane to be seen. So, one of the days. But,
Aye. What are you up to?
hey, we see there's a flight starting straight from somewhere to Dundee.
Aye, May next year.
I'll be able to come down and see you at weekends.
I think like it's Thursday, Monday for the flights.
Oh, that's a shame.
It's not great.
I'll have to come for a week. Just about a week.
You always fly to Dundee and fly back from Aberdeen.
All right, okay. Oh, well, one of the things. Listen, folks, thank you very much for joining us. We've got huge numbers joining already tonight.
We have.
Fantastic. We're going out on Facebook on our usual 3 channels, pages, rather, and we're out on the YouTube channel and Twitter. We've got 2 fantastic guests for you tonight. We've got the famous fiddle player, Marie Fielding, composer, artist, all these things. We're going to have Marie on first. And then later on tonight, we're going to have Alistair McDonald, originally from Wick, now living in Canada. Alistair was a member of the Wick Scottish dance band with Addie Harper and all them for years. So really looking forward to all that as well. We're going to have a good chat with both of them. It's going to be fantastic just to catch up. We've got lots of good tunes. I've been watching the videos already. There's some great playing coming up for you tonight. So please share it all about the place. Hello, Rab. Lennox for the Big Rab Show.
Aye, speaking of the Big Rab Show.
Aye, go on. That's a perfect cue for you. There you go.
We have been nominated for Best Social Media at the Big
Yeah,
Awards.
and the Big Rab Awards.
If you can pop over to this website here and give us a wee vote. You never know, we might win it.
Yeah, absolutely. If we keep pushing it like this at this rate, we might. You never know.
I
You know,
think
what class is it we're in? What are we nominated for? Best looking duo? Did you say?
well, maybe half of us are.
Thank you.
I don't know which half though.
Yeah. Best
Aye.
social media. That's very nice. That's very nice to be nominated. Thank you for all those who nominated us. Thank you very much. And if you would care to vote, we'll stick this onto the Facebook page as well.
We will.
And you'll be able to get a link to go straight to it and see. So thank you very much for sharing about. This is going to be great fun tonight. The Big Rab Show. And
voting
I played,
is 7th October.
yeah, and I think when is the actual awards on the 12th of October?
Probably.
Yeah, that's my birthday, so that's boding well.
There you go.
Boding well. Right, there we go. Mind folks as well, keep your comments coming in. Lovely to see where you all are. Let us know where you are in the world as well. It's magic to know where you are because it just kind of keeps us in touch with what's going on. And I can't believe the numbers that's joining us. It's absolutely fantastic. Yep, Rab says 12th October. That's my birthday, Rab. See if you can put a word in for me.
Is that your 60th?
Feels like it. 60th. Right, here's a wee tune. There's Ernie Curry on. Ernie, I hope you're doing all right. Ernie's been in hospital quite seriously ill, so I hope he's doing fine. So that's brilliant. Look after yourself, Ernie. There's somebody from Ontario joining us as well. Hamilton, Ontario. Fantastic. Right, here's a wee track. That's a new wee slow air that I wrote about a fortnight ago or something. And I wrote it for a chap called Alistair Morrison. He was up here releasing, they had a screenplay thing on, and he brought out a film all to do with lockdown and people being in isolation. He was up at the film festival. And he, wonderful photographer, and when he was up, he wanted to meet us kind of folks. And hello, Tony Rees. Tony's in South Africa.
In Africa.
South Africa, yeah. So I wrote Alistair a wee tune, and when he was up, he took my portrait photo. And to be honest, I didn't realise how famous he was until I looked up his Instagram page, and he's taken people like Tom Jones's photos and Billy Joel and the Beatles and all these kind of people. Just about everybody you can think of, actually. Mr. Bean, he even took Mr. Bean's photo. So he took my photo for me, and me. So that's cool. So I wrote on this week.
When are we going to see this photo?
He's got an exhibition in London just now that he's just getting it out of the way, and then he's going to send me the photo. So I'll get it up to you.
So you're telling me your mug's on a wall in London?
Possibly, yeah.
It's no Scotland Yard, is it?
Could be. Right, so here it is. This is a wee air that I wrote, and I've played this on the wee. This is a new wee accordion, a brand new accordion called the Delicia. It's a 48 bass size, but it's a 72 bass. But wait to hear the sound out of this wee thing. It's absolutely fantastic wee box. From the Squeeze Box shop in Bewley as well. Tom and Eleanor Cruikshank.
Give me 2 seconds.
There you are. There's Tom. And this is a lovely wee box. If you're looking for something really, really light or starting off or something, 72 bass, but a C sharp at the top, so you can play even more tunes. So here we go. Alistair Morrison. Thank you very much. There was Daniel McPhee was on there as well. Lovely. The north of Scotland's getting well represented tonight. See that little island in the second last shot there? It's an island in the middle of the loch. That's where I'd like to be buried. Think you can arrange that?
Depends how long you need.
It's not that far. It could be a wee Viking burial or something like
No,
that.
I meant.
I'm feeling all right now. It's not.
We're talking days and years.
It's not imminent. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, last time, wonderful. Can't believe the numbers we're getting on here. Loads of folks signing in. Thank you very much. See what happens when we bring really good guests on. That's what happens. Here we go. We're going to bring our first guest on, a young lady I have known for many, 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 many years. And looking forward to a catch up because I haven't seen her for ages. So let's bring on Marie Fielding. Hi, Marie.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I've been shopping.
I see that.
Just today. Yeah.
Well, you know something? You're more organised than us.
Just for the show.
It's looking
You're
perfect.
impressed. No, they're actually a few years old, but I just tweaked things a little bit so that
Looks
I could
good.
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spot on. Ian Muir didn't do that.
No.
He could.
Yeah. How are you getting on? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I've had a good day. A walk along Ely Beach and looking at some nice houses as well that people have there, just dreaming, you know.
Yeah.
And then a wee cheese scone, decaf coffee, and then home and a bit of gardening, and then this tonight. So perfect.
Oh, absolutely perfect. I got my grass cut yesterday because there's no way I could have done it today because it's dreich. But got it done yesterday, so that was fine. So, but saying that gardening in Shetland's not quite what it's in Falkirk. Right enough. You've probably got more chance of things living in Falkirk than we have.
People.
Anyway, listen, it's fantastic to have you on, Marie. We've been wanting to get you on for a wee while because we have had lots and lots of your students on now. And we thought, wait a minute, we need to get the master on someday. But they've all been, you know something, they've all been very, very nice about you and they've all complimented you highly. None of them have been at it, so that's fine. So that's good. So,
oh, thank you. Thank
good.
you. Yeah,
so,
we learn from each other.
Yeah, well, listen, we've known each other for a long time. Long time. And when we met, it was really Scottish dance band music in a way that we met through. You were, I think the first time I met you, you were playing fiddle with Craig McCallum's band. And then you progressed on, you went to Jim Johnson's band and you played with Jim for many years. But since then, you've also kind of exploded and taken your musical directions in all sorts of directions, really, haven't you? You've really kind of explored the Irish, Canadian folk, the whole shing bang. So it's going to be great speaking about that tonight and seeing what projects you've been up to and things, as well as being a very competent artist. And I'm going to speak about that later on as well, which is fantastic. I really have admired your work. Whenever I see a bit on, I think, wow, amazing, lovely colours. So what I think we'll do here is have a wee tune to begin with. So we're going to have a wee tune for you to begin with, and it's the Ant Plant and Callum McCrimmon's 3-2. Tell me about writing a 3-2.
I didn't know it was a 3-2. I didn't know that. I was just like, I was like, is this like a fast waltz or something? And Callum said, no. This is a 3-2, my favourite time signature. I was like, oh, of course it is. So I was like, right, I'll just name it after you. So it kind of, like, it sounds more complicated then it maybe
Right.
is, if you know what I mean. It's like a fast waltz.
Yeah,
Da-da-da-da-da-da, 1, 2. So it is like a fast waltz, but I think the pattern of notes and the phrasing and the tune kind of suits that 3-2 feel rather than a 3-4.
Yeah,
I feel like.
Mhm.
Like you'd struggle to dance to it maybe unless you were like really hyper. So.
or drunk. If you were drunk, you could dance to that.
I can't say that. I can't say that because I'm being a polite guest. So yeah.
Do you know, up in Shetland, they can dance a Boston two-step to about anything apart from a waltz. I think I've seen everything.
Yeah,
Everybody
reels,
just-
jigs, yeah.
Anything. If
Yeah,
it's
it's really cool,
if
yeah.
it moves, as long as it's not got 3 beats in the bar, they'll do it. So, anyway, and the ant plant. What's the ant plant?
Oh yeah. So I have a friend, Fergus Muirhead, who's a piper actually. He's written a book about some famous pipers, and he works for the BBC. He's a kind of finance guy. So he was telling me about this plant that him and his wife had specifically chosen for their house to kind of enhance the room. And anyway, it turned out to be infested by ants. So as he was telling me, I was like, so it's an ant plant. And I thought, that's a great name for
Perfect.
a tune. So that kind of instigated the notion to write I don't know, maybe it's a 3-part pipe jig. I can't quite remember. So yeah, that's how it came about.
Magic. Let's have a listen to the 2 tunes, 2 of Marie's own tunes here, and then we'll speak about composition and all sorts of things like that after that. Brilliant.
There we go.
Yay! Lovely. Really, really nice.
Thank you.
Somebody will have to write a dance so they can dance to it. That's the answer. That's the answer. It's always
Because it does have a pulse, which, so, yeah.
we can still hear you, Marie, but we've lost your picture. As you, you're back. You're back. Oh, have we got you?
Yeah, she's still there. Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear us?
It's like a modern day seance.
Yeah. Are you hearing us? I don't think she is hearing us.
I don't think she is, no.
Okay. Marie, can you hear us now?
I'll be a no then.
Right. Well, what we'll do is get her to sign out and sign back in.
Mm-hmm.
I'll send her a wee message and just say 2 seconds.
This is always the fun bit. You can tell we're live.
There she is. Don't think you can hear us, Marie, can you? There she goes. But yeah, this is what happens sometimes, so isn't it? This is exactly what happens. But what we do have is another wee track here that Marie sent me, and that she'd done in lockdown, and I don't know the full story of this. I was going to ask her that, but what we could do is play that while we're waiting for her to reconnect, because these things happen with internet. This is a really, really bonny piece of music with bonny scenery, so I hope you enjoy. Here you go. There we go. Hello.
Oh, am I back? Sorry.
You're back. You're back.
Oh,
It's all right.
sorry, guys.
Never what?
We live in a little thing, and it just, yeah.
Yeah. Do not worry. Internet is like this sometimes. At least we can make you out. Sometimes things have happened that we couldn't. Some people sound like Daleks and things, which is not very good. So that's for it. Tell me, Marie, where did this musical journey of yours all start? You started playing, as I say, when I knew you, but obviously you were learning before that. How did you get into Scottish traditional music and things, Glenn?
Yeah, I think it was probably just coming home from school and hearing the radio, Jimmy McGregor in the afternoon, and then maybe a little bit of Take the Floor and stuff, records around the house, going to my granny's and hearing music, LPs. And my dad was a great singer and whistler, so kind of like subconsciously you're kind of surrounded by it. So I think, you know, if you
went fiddle at school then?
I taught myself, and then eventually I managed to get some lessons. Yeah.
Right. Wow. Just before we go on a wee bit, you could maybe tell us about that last video, because we ended up playing that a wee bit prematurely there, just to have something on. So tell us a wee bit, what was that tune and what was the meaning behind it, etc.
Yeah, actually it kind of in some ways happened in reverse order. So I recorded that tune on a 5-string fiddle, but I tuned it a certain way just for the crack, and just kind of tried to make up a tune on the spot. I like to challenge myself, so I just used my phone and came up with that tune, and then I sent it to Tom Orr, and he was like, well, it's in B major, that's, you know, like not an everyday key, if you like. And I said to him, I realised that, but I feel that that's the key for it for some strange reason. And the idea was that I was going to maybe work with a filmmaker to do a little film. But actually what happened was Face Ross and the kind of national nature reserves around Scotland came together to promote live music, and they were looking for someone to represent each. I think there were 10 nature reserves. So I kind of responded to the Benny up near Gairloch Way, just because it was a very mountainous, kind of ethereal feel to it, and just felt that the tune fitted that, and ended up winning that. It was a competition, which I kind of like, I don't like entering competitions, but I had this need to put the music to film. So I gave back half of the prize money to the Feis, actually, to provide some lessons for some young folk up that way that were, you know, locked down due to lockdown, if you like. And so that's how it came about. Yeah.
So your early years, there was a lot of playing went on, live playing, before you were ever tutoring, etc., I would imagine. And as I say, you played with Jim for a while, and then I remember you doing quite a lot of Irish stuff for a while as well. You kind of got into that, didn't you? And what drove you to? I mean, after the dance bands, you had played with dance bands for so many years, hadn't you? And you still do play with dance bands, a lot of dance bands. But you do enjoy what people talk about as the folk side of music as well. I still think it's all the same myself. I think it's just presented in different fashions. But the root of the music's always the same. And I enjoy it all. But what, like say, you've been working on a new album, I noticed, in lockdown as well. That you brought out, and it's received very, very, very good reviews. And I haven't heard it yet, to be honest. But the Spectrum Project album, was that all recorded in lockdown then?
Yeah, I suppose with the dance band thing, it's it's rehearsed, it's worked out, it's you know what it's going to be unless someone makes a mistake, which is completely fine. That's human nature. But there's no like there might be something spontaneous that the band react to, but in general, it's kind of it's either like 432 reels or jigs or waltzes or you know, a two-step and all, and I still love all that kind of thing. But I suppose the albums that I've done they've enabled me to be more expressive as an individual rather than fitting in with a dance band, which I still love to do. There's still a challenge there musically. If you're really listening, there's always a challenge in music, but there just, you know, there was another need to do or say something else with something else or somebody else, and have a little bit of freedom with it. But the Spectrum had no rehearsals at all. It was just go in and do it and take it as it is, and that's it. It was just, you know, yeah.
And do you think your musical horizons really did widen, as it were? You got involved with the conservatoire, you were tutoring. There's so many different genres within a genre, if you know what I mean, coming through the system there. You've been at the conservatoire as a fiddle instructor for quite a number of years now, haven't you? You've been there for maybe
about 12 years. It's possibly going more towards performance lecturer now, as well as fiddle lecturer, because I have a particular interest in performance preparation and you know, really just getting into the mind of the student and what they specialise in and what makes them unique, and to bring that out in them. It's like the X Factor kind of thing, what makes them unique. So I'm really into that. Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you about that just a wee bit later on, but you've touched on it already. So performance, I think it's so important, isn't it, though? Because as dance bandy people over the years, we tend to just sit there on stage and look glum, and you know, whereas, well, some people manage to smile occasionally, but the performance factor, if you want to be a full-time entertainer or whatever, it's a really huge part of the whole business, really, to be honest, isn't it? I mean, yes, you want to be musically good, but if you can present yourself to an audience, etc., and deal with the general public in a good way, you're going to be successful.
Yeah, I suppose over the years I've realised it's not always the best player that sells the most tickets. You know, they have to have a little bit of I suppose in a way it's not about them, it's about the music and the audience. What the audience, and you know, that can go two ways. You either play what you want to play and the audience take it or leave it, or you try to please your audience. But I always think if you're true to yourself, then there will be someone out there that's interested in it, because that's when you're at your best, when you're actually playing music that you really believe in and you understand it, or you've created it yourself.
Absolutely.
Connection, you connect it, and that connects to the audience. But how you do that, it's like, I don't know how you can put it into words. It's just a thing, you know.
It's a thing. But I was also wanting to speak to you about composing, etc. I've got to sync here a wee bit with playing that other video, but it's all right. I'm going to cover everything, because one thing I wanted to cover was, which I'm finding quite amazing. We've had a few guests on now, and quite a few of them were fiddle players and artists. And we had Pete Clark on, and Pete's into doing art. We had Claire Gullen on. Claire likes to do artwork as well. And I even noticed Paul Anderson had a thing on Facebook the other day that he'd started painting a wee picture and things like that.
He's been dabbling, yes.
Yeah. He said, I like the way he put it on. The only thing that's wrong with this picture of a bridge, is, from an artist's point of view, is the bridge. Quite like that. But you've been painting for a while now, and I've seen your stuff turning up on social media, etc., and it's absolutely lovely. And are you selling quite a lot of your own artwork that way, away from the music side as well? Do you do that as well? Or?
I suppose I'm using the word suppose a lot, but I just think it's
No,
quite
that's
a
all
good
right.
word. It's quite a good word to use. But art, I don't see it as art necessarily. It's just the same as composition and music. Just it's another way to express yourself or to get lost in your own little world or to challenge yourself or you know, try something new, take yourself out of your comfort zone. And I'm probably good at taking myself out of my comfort zone, but I'm also bad at doing it because I do it too much, and sometimes that becomes really frustrating. So it's about being realistic. But the main thing I would say is I enjoy it. That's my main thing. I've kind of stumbled into the selling, you know, can I buy that from you? Or it's not important. It pays for itself, and it is a hobby.
Yeah.
So I feel really fortunate that I've got a little shed out the back that's got pastels and paints and pencils and stuff in it.
Yeah.
But it's really important for me as a self-employed person that I have some downtime to do something that might not necessarily have an outcome. You know, it's not an album, it's not a book, it's not a gig, it is what it is. And I can throw it in the bucket, or I can put it up and frame it, or I can give it to someone, or, you know, so I try and...
Yeah. Well, my one in that kind of field was going trout fishing, and people used to laugh because I caught virtually nothing. But it really didn't matter. I wasn't caring about catching anything. It was just being out there and your mind being somewhere else completely. It's good. For all you folks out there, I have made up a wee iMovie. I asked Marie to send me some of her images of her artwork. So here is a wee an iMovie. What do we call it, Davey? Is there a posh word for it? Is there a technique? All right. Presentation. That's a good one, Davey. Well done. Right, here we go. Here's some of Marie's work. Enjoy. Fantastic, lovely. That's a wee example, folks, of some of Marie's paintings. The other person I was trying to think of, Marie, was Robert Matheson. We had Robert the piper on.
Oh, yeah.
And Robert's an artist as well. And he actually that's what he studied at uni. I didn't realise that until we had him on the show. But it was really interesting. So for when you talk about that as a hobby, it's a pretty professional looking stuff you've got there for a hobby. It's pretty amazing. Lovely. So tell us, on to composition, something on the same line. Remember, folks, yes, I see folk putting in comments. Anybody got any comments at all, put them in, please, even when the guests are on, because it lets us see that there is people out there and we're alive. I can see how we've got loads of numbers. Yeah, there's Marie's website. That's another thing. I had a wee surf on the website the other day. It's a really, really good website, and you can go on and see about lots and lots of things about Marie on there. What tartans you've gotten?
That's
Oh well.
Next.
There are other tartans available. That's fine.
Nice. I think it's quite nice.
Lovely. Yeah, tartans. So, but there's lots of folk coming in with comments here saying they love that. So on to art. Music is art, also composition. You started composing very young, I think, didn't you? Your first tunes were quite young. And you've had a good knack of always producing very good tunes, which is marvellous.
Oh, thank you.
And I remember, in fact, we done one in our last album, the one you wrote for Rudy Meeks, Farewell to Scotland, or something, the 2/4, we played that in the last CD. And it's a cracking tune. And you weren't very old when you wrote that one, I don't think.
No, maybe about 17 or 18.
Yeah.
That was my first 2/4 march that I wrote, actually.
Was it? Oh, yeah. Well, that was a pretty good start then. Pretty good start.
I made it in B minor deliberately because Jim Johnson didn't play much in B minor, so I made it deliberately in B minors. so that we could play a 2/4 march in B minor.
Oh, I wonder what you'd have thought of that tune in B. Maybe.
No comment.
Yeah. No, magic. So anyway, compositions. You've got, how many books have you got out now?
I have 3 and just one nearly to go in the oven and cooked. Yeah.
You're working on a new one. Yeah, but you've got a lot of tunes. You've got quite a catalogue now. You've got a fair old catalogue. What inspired you? What's the best way to write? What way do you like writing?
I suppose it's the same as my art and most things that I do. Spontaneous, just the tune comes to my head. Nowadays I can just whistle it into my phone or play it into my phone. Going back in the days I had to grab a piece of paper and draw the lines to write it down, or so most things they just come in a oneer. The ones that don't tend to be harder work. So just another, I don't know, something to do.
See, when you say that about using technology nowadays, I was trying to tell one of my students the other day about how I can remember having to write out duplicates of pipe music at one point in time because we didn't even have access to a photocopier.
Oh yeah.
And sitting writing a pipe tune out by hand with all the embellishments, and it took forever, and then you give it to somebody else who then said, I like that tune, I'm not wanting to play that. So, well, that's great. That only took about 6 days to write it out.
Or you realise you've got every eighth bar wrong, and you have to get the Tipex, and oh god. Yeah.
And it never looked right, did it? When that big plotted Tipex, and then you still couldn't tell if it was on a line or in a space or.
So annoying. Yeah.
So you've got a new book. You're working on a pipe book as well, aren't you?
Yeah, that's the new book. Just proofreading it just now, and I mean it does include some of the tunes from the other 3 books, but I've written a lot of new tunes and some commissions for the book, and specifically, they are specifically for pipes, but I mean they would work on, as you know, other instruments, but obviously the ornamentation and the limitations of the notes and stuff sit on the pipes, and so I'm really proud of that. It's something I've wanted to do since I wrote Kintor House way back when I was 16, 17. And now I've had the time to do that due to the lockdown and stuff. So.
It's quite interesting, isn't it? Because like Gordon brought out a pipe book this past year as well. And quite a few non-pipers, if you can, bringing out pipe music books. And it's actually been pretty warmly received by the piping community as well, because they're hearing these tunes that are written on it's just like with a different slant to it kind of style thing. Then because it's written on a different instrument,
Yeah.
we might write something and try it that the pipe somebody with a pipe chanter's never thought of doing before, and it's really interesting. And I mean, I've written 2 or 3, and I'm not very good at putting the notation in either, even though I play the pipe. That's terrible, but I just haven't got the patience to do it. But so Davey gets one for me every so often saying, "Will you stick the notation in for me, please?" And then and the embellishments rather than notation. And I get him to do wee bits and pieces for me, which is he does it in seconds, where I would take days to do it. So, but it's a really interesting concept, and I suppose we've been nicking the pipe music for years for our instruments. So it's payback time. We're saying, here you go, have some back for it.
Have some new stuff.
So have you got an expected date roughly when you hope that'll be the next couple of months, maybe, or something?
Sorry, say that again, Peter.
Do you hope that'll be in the next couple of months or so, hopefully?
Yeah, hopefully, maybe mid-November, December, just getting the cover and stuff together now, and just kind of, making it feel real. So, yeah, I'm in no hurry. When it's ready, it's ready.
Well, keep us in touch when it comes, and we'll let folk in as well. That'll be great.
I will do.
And you can always watch Marie's Marie's website there as well, and jump on and have a look. Right, we're going to have a wee set of tunes before we lose you tonight. My dog just decided to bark at me there. Right, wait till you see this. Vicious. Our new vicious puppy.
Oh.
Really vicious. Yeah.
Ferocious dog, yeah.
Oh, terrible. The postman's petrified. The postman's petrified.
Oh.
But that's anyway. There we go. Listen, we're going to have a wee set of tunes. This is yourself and Tom Orr. You've mentioned Tom a couple of times tonight. Tom's a fantastic musician as well, brilliant musician. Yeah. And you have worked quite a bit over the years now together as well. Yeah. What's this set of tunes? You've done this in lockdown, didn't you?
No, that's a good question. So I think the tunes are Young Ryan. So the first one's named after Ryan Young, who was a student of mine, fiddler. You'll have heard of him, of course, lovely guy.
Oh, yes.
And then the next one, I think, is minor to major, as in going from one key to another. It's quite a simple tune. And then I think the last one's a bit more, much more well known. It's an Irish tune. Is it Drowsy Sleepy Maggie, maybe?
Sleepy.
Maybe. She's either drowsy or sleepy. She's one of the two.
maybe both. That's when you've had a really good night out. Anyway, here we go. Let's have a listen. This is a fantastic set of tunes, folks. You're gonna love this. Yay, that's fab. That's driving. Driving.
Peter, can you click on Marie's mic, please? Because I can't do it for you.
Oh, I will. Where is it? Got it?
There you go.
I've got it. Driving, Marie, lovely. That was really, really good.
Thank you. I do love
Really
playing
nice.
Tom. Yeah.
There's a really nice groove going on there when that happens. That's lovely. Really,
Thank you.
really jumping. Marie, thank you so much for coming on and giving up some time on a Sunday night.
Oh,
It's been
thank
magic
you
to
for
see
having
you.
me on.
No,
And
fantastic.
I hope we'll catch up in flesh someday again sometime.
I know.
Before too long.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
I'm calling this the if world just now because everything seems to be if. It seems to be like we'll play at this if, and we'll do that if. I'll play at your wedding as long as I don't get contract traced the day before. Oh yeah, great.
Oh,
So anyway, it's a funny old world. But listen, thanks so much for coming on. You look after yourself, and folks, mind to jump onto Marie's website, and you'll see all her albums and books and everything that you can buy from there, and that will be fantastic. That be Daniel McPhee liked the major to the minor. There we go. Absolutely fantastic, Marie. Thank you so much.
thank you.
We'll see you again. You take care. Take care.
Thanks.
Thanks now. Bye. Bye.
Another cracking guest.
Yeah, she's a brilliant player. She's a fantastic player. I'm so impressed with that artwork and all that as well. I think when you're producing stuff like that, when you're just doing it
Dabbling.
Dabbling, yeah.
I'm just going to dabble, but this looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
See these talented buggers. Yeah.
I always remember Marie's family were very musical. Her brother was a very good piano player, and her other brother was a good drummer. He used to play with us sometimes as well, David. And Owen had, as a piano player, he would sit and vamp along to you, and he seemed to know absolutely every tune in the world, even if it had a strange chord progression going in it. He knew it. He just remembered everything. He was one of these minds that could just remember every chord going. Anyway, I was going to mention the Pitlochry tune competition, but I've scrubbed the video by mistake. So we'll get it back on. We'll get it on. No, but we'll get it back next week. It's all right. It's a long time ago yet. Have you written any tunes for it
yet? One or two.
I've got one bar written.
See, I'm well up for it, but in the same instance, it's just the in my opinion, they're looking at all the tunes that are entered are going to be released in a digital book.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that. Right.
Okay. So I don't know. It's a strange one.
We could maybe do a collaboration tune. What about I write a bar, send it to you, you write the next bar, and then we could do one between us. And it can be like Lennon McCartney kind of type thing. Hunter Wood. We could do one that way. You never know what might happen.
I would end up in the wrong key.
Could be an interesting concept. Listen, we've got a young man waiting to come on. It's going to be great fun having this man on as a guest. I'm so looking forward to it because Alistair McDonald has done so much over the internet as well, right through lockdowns. And I met him many, many years ago. And to see him, and he turned up somewhere by surprise to me in Canada that I didn't even know at the beginning of the lockdown that he was in Canada now because I knew he was for Wick originally. So let's bring him on because this man's got a fantastic story. This is Alistair McDonald, Wick, now Ontario. Hi, Alistair.
Hey, Peter. Hey, Davey. How are you both? How's everyone doing?
We're fantastic. I see living in Canada has affected your Wick accent not much.
Is that right? I'll try it. I need to tone it down a little bit, do I?
No. Just speak away in Wick. That's great. We love it.
Yeah.
Alistair, thanks for joining us for this. This is magic.
Thanks for having me on. It's good to sort of almost see it sort of live, Peter. You know.
No, it's good fun. What time of day is it with you just now?
Afternoon, 4:00, dead on, 4 in the afternoon.
Oh, right. Okay, so you can do this and then have your tea.
That's right. Yeah.
Spot on. Whereas we have to do it and go to bed and look forward to Monday morning again.
Yeah.
That's great. So, Alistair, yeah, as I was saying earlier, you went on and you've done quite a number of broadcasts over the lockdown period as well. You were telling me about that you enjoy doing wee bits of recording. You enjoy working with technology and that.
Yeah.
And as a result, we caught up again, which is fantastic. And we've ended up collaborating a wee bit and everything, which has been really cool.
No, it's been good. I mean, the tunes in the house, I mean, that was yourself and Martin started off the tunes in the house there. And that, I think that just resonated with so many people, didn't it? Because it sort of got people working together that had never worked together before even, sort of thing. It just created a lot of stuff. I mean, I was just actually looking at the tune book that came out last night and just some great tunes, some great connections made across all of that, which was.
I think
really
that
good.
was the big thing was the connections. I think was keeping people going and people that you'd maybe heard the name but you'd never really been involved. And I see your old pal there, Daniel McPhee, saying hello to you there. Did you see that straight away? I
did see that, Daniel, watching there. I'll get a message later with a critique on my speed of playing. I know Daniel, won't I? Daniel keeps me right. I enjoy my tunes with Daniel, to be honest, and he keeps me right.
I totally admire that man's playing. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
it's just so spot on, and his tempos and everything, and he takes it so you can tell he just thinks about the whole thing, and but he's still got so much soul in his playing. You know, it's not lost because of that. You know, very good.
Daniel.
No, you are, Daniel. You're an absolute exponent, absolutely brilliant. But anyway, so Alistair, I think what we're going to do here, let's have a wee set of tunes for yourself, and then we'll come back and talk about how you've played and what you've done with the Wick band, etc. Because there's a lot of people interested in all that sort of stuff out there that not aware of what was happening. So we're going to start off with a wee set of tunes. The first one's a trip to Aldern, and then you've got Robert M. Wink. That was an Addy. Well, the first one was a Rob McCrombie tune. I'm not familiar with that composer, but you maybe know.
Aberdeenshire. I'm not. It's funny though, because I got someone. I was playing with Brandon at a show not long before I left for Canada, and God, my mind's just gone blank now. But someone came up with this book of tunes from Rob McCrombie, and maybe it plays around the Dick Black area in Aberdeenshire and that Aboyne area. I've got the book. I'll look it up when you play the tunes, and some of it. He's got some great tunes in there, and a trip to Aldern was reminiscent of the Red Lion Hotel in Aldern. And for those of us around that area, many of us had many's a night in the Red Lion.
It was a pretty famous place, wasn't it?
There was many stories come out of there. And then, maybe I mistyped that, but the second tune was Ronald M. Wink. And funny enough, Ronald and Margaret and their girls, Elaine, Carol, and God, my mind's gone blank too. My mind's gone blank today an awful lot. But they followed the band a lot. They followed us a lot, and great nights there too. And then the third one, a tune for a teacher, which is written by that great fiddle player from the north as well, Karen Stephen, Peter. So
very much, and Karen's just brought a book out not long ago as well.
Yeah, that's right. Another lockdown book.
Yeah, fabulous. Yeah, there was a few come out, wasn't there? So anyway, let's have this wee set of tunes. Folks, remember to keep your comments coming in if you want to ask Alistair anything like that about his career or whatever. Let's hear from you. If you want to ask Davey what he's up to, that's fine as well. Here we go. A trip to Aldern. Yeah. There we go.
Everyone.
There's Edna asking straight away, how long have you been in Canada?
Been in Canada 3 years, Edna. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll go into that because it was through the nuclear industry that's taken you over to Canada, isn't it, your job?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I just got the opportunity to come out here and work on Ontario. And Ontario, like many countries in the world, has got a sort of long history with nuclear energy. So I'm involved with some of the decommissioning work that's taking place out here, Peter.
Great stuff. So, right back to the start then. Here we go.
Yeah.
You were immersed in music up where you were in the north because having friends like Addie Harper, Addie Senior was there, of course, and then Addie Junior. Were Addie Junior and you about the same age, were you?
Yeah, Addie's a couple of years older than me, so yeah, we're about.
Yeah, he looks.
Now we're about the same age.
he looks a couple of years older than you, Alistair.
Well, if he's listening, I'm sure he'll take that good.
I remember when I was quite young seeing you playing with the Wick Band at Peebles Accordion Fiddle Club, I think, and been exceptionally jealous because the two of you were standing. I think you both had the Accorder accordions that night. These new ones with the digital number on the front of them. And man, did I desperately want one of these, and here was this band with two of them.
That's true, but you know what? Before that, so Addie got the Accorder first, and he would give me a shot of his. I think it was called the Crucianelli 35 PNS. Now you may remember it because it had all the electronics in the accordion. So I'd be like standing sometimes playing this accordion, it would kill me. And he's playing the Accorder with all the electronics out in the box to the side, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. But and that was something that always stuck out as different. Isabel, that played in the band as well, Isabel always used to stand when she played the piano as well.
Yeah, she always, yeah.
And that was quite unusual because just about everybody always sat at a piano, you know. But Isabel always
I think she kept us all right from the back, Peter. That was the.
So, I noticed in the wee bio you sent us, you kind of formed a young band with you and Addie, and they said Gordon. Is that Gordon Gunn? Was
Gordon Gunn? Yeah.
Right.
We were all in school together, and Grant Lyle played drums, Stephen Cameron played guitar, and we would just practice and play a few gigs, and just it was a form of practicing, and they did a few broadcasts on Radio Orkney and the likes there. So that was good for us all to sort of grow up in that environment, you know. And old Addie encouraged us to play and perform and do different stuff and different kinds of music as well, Peter.
Yeah. And I noticed you said he was really encouraging for you to compose as well. He liked to see you having a go at composing and things.
Yeah, I mean, Addie was a prolific composer himself, and young Addie and Gordon, myself, we've all composed a few tunes, and it's good to try it.
It was like you were telling us earlier about the Barrowburn reel that Addie wrote. and you were walking down the street. Was it somewhere in Canada, and there was somebody playing it on a fiddle or something?
Yeah, that was in Colorado, in Boulder, Colorado, and there's a street there. I'm sure some people know it, Pearl Street in Boulder, and it's a great street for busking and for buskers playing. And you'll see pianos, harps, you'll see all sorts of things in Pearl Street. And this girl just sitting playing the fiddle, and she played the Barbern reel. I couldn't believe it. This is composed by my accordion teacher from Wick. Quite a small world, really, you know.
You know, when you're talking about the busking and things, the street in Vienna called the Caithness, and it's the same idea. And there's all these buskers at night, but amazing quality musicians, because you might get a string quartet or whatever. They're all studying music there. And I was over playing at a festival, and Gordon Duncan was with us as well, the piper. And we ended up jumping on a train and going in. And talk about being the most two unwelcome buskers in the whole of Vienna that night. Two guys with sexy pipes was not appreciated whatsoever by all these beautiful classical string players and things. And us pair turned up until the police decided we didn't have a permit and moved us on, and that was it.
Yeah. I don't see the New Year concert in Vienna featuring bagpipes very much.
No.
Hey, you know, it was really nice, you know, speaking about different kinds of music, though. I mean, I never saw it, but it was really nice to see an accordion featured in the last night of the proms this year in the UK. I thought, great, you know, just great to see that, Peter, to be honest.
I haven't seen that either yet, and it was a girl playing tango or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be really good to see that. So,
yeah.
But
what you don't realise, Alistair, is Peter actually missed that phone call.
Well, I wondered.
They said you'd have to wear a cocktail dress, and he was like, "Yeah, maybe not."
Yeah. I didn't have the right length of cocktail dress.
Too short.
Well.
That's all it was. Yeah, I wish. But no, it's fantastic to see that. But you joined the Wick band quite a young age. You were about 14 years old.
Yeah, I was. I mean, I guess it's, you know, Addy was teaching me, and you know, at that point, you know, Addy was playing with young Addy and Isabel and maybe John Gann, Adam Paulson on the drums. So, you know, because Addy was in school, you know, a lot of our traveling was actually during the school holidays, because you know, Addy wasn't very keen on taking young Addy out of school, and I just ended up playing second box with him, and enjoyed that, to be honest. And I think that just got me into second box playing, you know, or the way I play second accordion anyway, which is sort of pretty basic stuff. You know, Addy was pretty innovative. You know, he had the Hawaiian guitar, he used the banjo. He, you know, as you know, he played many tunes that many others don't play in the sort of Scottish idiom. But you know, when it come to second box playing, Addy was always keep it simple, keep it straightforward. So that was always coaching from Addy, I remember, and I think to this day, I try to keep it that way and honour that, Peter. You know.
Yeah, because the Wick band, I mean, the Wick Scottish Dance Band, whatever, one of the most famous bands in Scotland. You know, it's a name that was up there with all the big bands, and very, very popular with the public. And I think because of some of the reasons you just said there, that slight different sound, you could recognise the Wick band.
Yeah.
With Addy doing things like the banjo and the Hawaiian guitar and all that, people really respected that and really enjoyed it. It was a great. It was just part of the blocks that were there. The Wick band was always there. Yeah. And we always admired how far that band had to travel. Like when you're saying school holidays, I mean, to travel from Wick to play even in the borders of Scotland, it's a huge distance, you know.
Yeah.
Especially 30 years ago, you know, it was just crazy. But,
no, many times, many trips we had in the back of a blue transit van. But you know what, young Adam and myself, we'd get the accordions out, and you know, we'd practice, we'd learn stuff, we'd be sitting in the back, just passing the time learning stuff, and you know, I've seen it. I think you know, you were talking about Addy composing tunes, and one memory I sort of have of, there's a few memories of traveling in the van, but one memory, we were going down almost the first faraway dance of the year was always the Edinburgh Caithness gathering. in Edinburgh, and the association always had Addy down. I think they used to have Jimmy Shand before Addy, and then it was the Wick Band and Addy. And Addy remembered about Caithness on the way down to Edinburgh that he promised to write a tune for the dance. So I think, and you were speaking earlier about Marie and what inspires you to write music. Well, sometimes pressure inspires you. I think by Abbey Moore, the tune was sketched out, and then we were rehearsing it on the way down. It's a lovely waltz, actually. It was a really good waltz, as it turned out, and it also turned into a song. I mean, Ina Miller, a sort of popular singer from Caithness, used to sing. It was called "Take Me Back to Caithness." Words to it, but that was written on the way down to that dance. And of course, we had nothing better to do than play it at the start of the dance.
Brilliant. Written and practiced in the back of the van. What's some other wee set of tunes? Tell us, Fiona a Scory Break. Is that right? Scory Break.
Fiona a Scory Break, yeah.
That's one of your tunes.
It is one of my tunes, yeah. Just written for a friend of the family there. And the second tune is Achnacaith House, written by Brandon. I've obviously spent a fair bit of time, and I saw one comment: "Do you miss playing in the Caithness bands?" And I do. I enjoyed my time in Caithness, and I miss all my Caithness musician friends up there. Achnacaith House by Brandon, and then another one of my own, Tony and Candy's Wedding Jig, which is written for friends of mine in Virginia who got engaged in Scotland, and I ended up playing at their wedding dance in Virginia. So again, nothing better to do than write a tune for their dance. So
and Brandon, of course, brilliant player, brilliant entertainer as well. He's doing so well in the country scene and everything now as well. He's real.
Yeah.
And I started playing this tune because he sent me up his book. He brought a wee book of his own compositions out. There's only he's not done that many yet, but he brought the book out. Yeah. And it's a cracking wee tune, and it's caught on, and there's lots of people asking for this one already. I know.
He might not have written too many, but darn it, they're all good tunes. I've written about 30, and I can only think of 2 or 3 of them I would play, Peter.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? But no, he's got some good tunes. That's for sure. Here we go. Off we go with a new set of tunes. Hey, that's a cracking jig, Alistair. Very, very good jig there.
Right,
and it's still got that real. It's got that real Caithness sound, actually. Distinctive,
right. Neat.
Very distinctive.
Yeah. I'll send you a copy then, Peter. Eh?
Yeah, please do, because that's a cracker. Yeah, that can go into my repertoire, no bother at all. Not very good. And as I say, Brandon's March is also very, very popular. That one, it's been.
That's a good tune too. Yeah.
You done Brandon's CDs for him as well, didn't you? You done.
Yeah, it's I must admit, I'm really sort of happy to have been. And still am to some extent part of Brandon's career. It's just nice to see encouragement he's getting, and nice to see, he's working at it. He wants to make a career in music, and he works hard at it, and he's got some great talent and some great enthusiastic followers as well. And so yeah, I played piano, I think, on his first CD, and just carry on doing second box with Brandon, and it's always good fun working with Brandon.
Yeah, and then you were telling me the first album with the Wick band that you made was up in. Now, did you say it was getting recorded north, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the Pride of the North. So that was God, I can't even remember when that was now, but it was
1981, I think.
81, right? The Pride of the North. So I was on that album. Bobby Kogel from Wick was also on that album, and Addy, John, and Isabel. And that was Bryce Lane came up in the Craig Hall mobile studio to record that in the assembly rooms in Wick. So we had an interesting couple of days doing that, and that was I think that album. It wasn't just the band sound on that album. Addy had written it was called a tune for a Queen, which was written for Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, and I think that was the first recording. So that was on that album, and young Addy was playing I think he duetted with his dad on fiddles on that, and really, really nice sound on that album.
Yeah, because Addy wrote a couple. Did he write the Queen's Welcome to Jewett as well? Or?
No, I don't recognise that one. He wrote a tune for a Queen, and then one of the last compositions Addy wrote before he died was called the Queen Elizabeth II's Welcome to Wick.
That's maybe what I'm thinking of.
Maybe the one you're thinking. It's a cracking march, actually, to be honest. It'd be a really good tune.
I mean, Jim Christie of Wick.
I know.
What an amazing 2/4 that is as well.
Yeah.
I noticed that getting played in the pipe band world just now as well, actually. That started to come up.
Yeah.
But they've written some, he wrote some amazing tunes, actually, over the years.
He certainly has.
I didn't realise Walking on the Moon was about Walking on the Moon, wasn't it? It was 69 or something. It was real. It was that when the men landed on the moon.
Yeah, I think it was Buzz Aldrin, was it? Yeah.
Or did they?
I've seen a comment there from Shona Smith. You find lots of accordionists and fiddlers to play with music in Canada, and there's some. I have found some. I guess I sort of got busy in lockdown, but I am working on a wee project here with a fiddle player Dan Schreier and a piper and whistle player Paul McClelland. So we've been sort of practicing and just working on some stuff, and we were just sort of getting ready for some gigs, and then March the 13th came last year, and that was COVID, and the rest is history, you might say. But I've met some great player, and there are some great fiddle music, great music around here. In fact, I don't know, Peter, there's a lady here, seeing as I've got onto that topic, Carol Kennedy. Now, Carol's been up in Shetland a few times, and she lives not far from me here, but she's played piano with Willie Hunter and many others up in Shetland. So there are strong connections.
I was going to say, what's the music like in that area you're in then? So it's quite good traditional music in that area.
Yeah, it's the area I'm in. It would be called the Ottawa Valley, and it is quite renowned for fiddle music, around the area. But there's lots of music. I mean, some of the music I've just been getting back out to gigs. I enjoy listening to music, and I was, a couple of weeks ago out at a winery here, and they'd put on a gig, and it was more sort of country folk. Kate Weeks was the singer, but she had a great fiddle player, James Stevenson, and James has played with Gordon and many others from Scotland as well. There just are some really strong links in our sort of music, and it's not very hard if you don't know someone. You're usually only one step disconnected from someone.
But there was, the Caithness, Orkney, Shetland thing. There was always quite a big mix between country and Scottish traditional.
Yeah.
It went hand in hand. A lot of bands done a bit of everything, style of thing.
Yeah, and I guess it was, people just, I guess, played the music that either they enjoyed or the audience enjoyed. And what, there's few boundaries, I think, between music. I mean, despite the fact, we're sitting here talking about accordion music and fiddle music, most of the music I listen to, influences from some of the greats like, MacPhail and Jim McLeod, Peter. But, if I go to put some music on, I go to listen to Nancy Griffiths or Tim McGraw or, even some classical music, whatever, it's so many influences into what you're playing, what you're doing. Yeah,
but Caithness done really well in that respect, with say bands like the Wick and Gordon Gunn, obviously as a soloist, and then Colorado, the country band coming out.
That's right. Yeah, you'll offend people if you link Colorado to Caithness because these lads are from Sutherland. So
sorry.
We'll correct that before the messages come. But no, from the north, indeed. I mean, Colorado, just an amazing band. You've got the Dynamos there. Working with Brandon now. There's just a lot of bands out there. Kate Bain. I've just done some great music out of Caithness, and still to this day, I mean, there's some youngsters now recording, and I'm thinking Mikey Henderson, Keith McLeod, that have played with us in our sort of Scottish folk environment, but they're doing country stuff, and they're getting hits up in Apple charts and things. So there's still a strong pedigree of music coming from there. And then people like Addy are still teaching a lot as well, so that's encouraging music. Young Addy.
Young Addy has an army of students. Does he?
I know.
An amazing amount of students, and he teaches so many different instruments as well. It's not.
Yeah.
It's teaches guitar and fiddle and accordion, everything. He's some guy, and he's such a nice, modest, quiet fellow, really, in a way. He's just gets on with it. He just gets on with it. And that's it. Right, another wee set of tunes, Alistair. We are going this time to where did I put my back paper? What were we going to?
Hornpipes.
Give me a head start. Oh yeah, hornpipes. Yes. Now we had a wee connection here. We were talking about through the week.
Well, we were talking earlier. We got some sad news, recently with the death of Hamish Auld. And Hamish, we were talking about that album that we recorded. Well, Hamish overdubbed the double bass on that album, and obviously played with many of the all of the Wick Scottish albums. So we got some really sad news with the hearing about the death of Hamish over the last week. But on a cheerier note, this is a cracking tune, and this is a tune for Sheila Hunter. And Sheila was then Sheila Hunter, and then she became Sheila Auld. So Sheila is Hamish's wife there. So that was a cracking tune. And the second tune here is Isabel's Mother's Birthday, which was written for Isabel's mother for her birthday, as you can guess. And the third one here was it's called The Seven Stars, another cracking tune that not many people really have heard of. And all of these tunes are written by Addy Senior. The Seven Stars was written for the Seven Sisters, the consolation. So yeah.
But see, when you talk about that Addy Senior, I remember seeing one book out years ago with some of his compositions in it and that. But there must have been hundreds of compositions that's never been published.
Well, there's there's another 2 books actually, and which reminds me, I need to do something. We maintain the website addyharbour.com, but it's out of action just now, and that's through my inaction. So I need to fix that. But there are two other music books of Addy's, and he included other compositions. And you're right, there's other compositions as well that they are not published anywhere, and they, this conversation's maybe a little bit of a call to action on making sure we don't lose some of these, Peter.
Absolutely, yeah, because he wrote such good stuff, unique stuff. It was good.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's have this wee set of tunes on by Addy Harper Sr., played by Alistair McDonald. Fantastic. Loyalty. There's a lot of notes in there. There's a lot of notes going on in there.
That's why I played it slow, Peter,
Listen, I was just going to say, if Daniel McPhee's still watching, just in case, sometimes when we're watching this, when you start playing a video, the first two bars sound slightly fast.
Right.
And it slows down. Now, I don't know why that does that in technology, and I'm not sure if it does it when it goes straight out or if it's just us that hears that. But just in case he gets on to you and says, "What are you up to, Alistair?" Playing that first two bars.
I believe the term you're looking for, Peter, is up-tempo.
Up-tempo. Just the internet was up-tempo. Yes. there's Eleanor Gunn saying she's fair enjoying that. That's great. And I was just texting Davey in the middle of that to say that's a real Hammond organ sitting there, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yeah, it's maybe one day it'll be a B3, but right now it's not a B3. But no, it is, and it works. It's nice. It's good to get the real sound.
Yeah, because I remember when we done tunes in the house, and I'd done a wee tune that I wrote for my wee girl one night, and you put
Grace,
some Hammond organ. You put some Hammond organ on it.
Yeah, because I remember Jason saying, that's a real Hammond, seriously.
Yeah, that's a real Hammond. That was quite a collaboration that night. It was yourself in Canada, Jason in Denmark, and myself in Shetland. That was quite a bit of mileage in that one.
Yeah, good tune as well. Good tune, that.
It's good fun. I think you'll have to get a book of your tunes out sometime as well. You've got about 30 tunes, you were telling me. That's enough.
Yeah, but I think once you filter the ones that are maybe okay, I'm not sure it'll be a book. It might be a little postcard or two, Peter, you know?
Do you get a chance to play at many gigs in Canada in normal times? Obviously, I'm talking between.
Well, I hadn't. The three of us that were playing, we'd basically done a couple of burn suppers, and we were rehearsing. It's for our enjoyment. We were all working, but we did a couple of burn suppers, which was nice, and that got us into the sort of rhythm of playing. Because you know what, there is something. Despite the fact that we're all collaborating online now and multi-tracking, God, there's something about you when you all get in a room together. And it's only recently we've been able to start sort of practicing it again. And even just, it's in the summer here. The one thing with summer is it's sort of predictable. It is warm. So, we get outside in the back and, sit and have a tune and get together again. So, honestly, I'm looking forward to getting back to just sort of playing and, like rehearsing, working out some stuff. And maybe we'll get some gigs, but not many gigs opening up yet. So, but open to that completely and just looking forward to that.
I think it's just the way our senses work, isn't it? I mean, Davey and I fortunately managed to meet up about 4 weeks ago now. And Braemar for the day, and just to get a tune together. And we've never had a tune ever in our lives, but to get a tune and just sit and play, and it's kind of like to have eye contact or smile at somebody, or have a laugh when you make a mistake or something. It doesn't matter.
Mistakes.
Well, I made some, but there is something about that when you get in. Just into that situation,
I think in general we are social creatures, some more so than others, but in general we are. I have met a few grumpy musicians that are not just very social sometimes, but it's good. So, but anyway, you've had quite a journey with your work taking you over there. And work sounds like it's quite full on, to be honest. It's quite a big project you're working on. It is, I enjoy it. As mentioned earlier, there's the nuclear industry has got some sort of legacies from Cold War days and pre-Cold War days, and standards were not the same in our industry as we'd expect nowadays. So there's facilities and projects that just basically need to be dismantled, decommissioned. So I have a fair part of looking over some of that in Canada, and we have that here. Most of my career's been up in the north of Scotland at Dounreay, and spent a bit of time in Washington State. Again, that was another Cold War site in Northwest America, and here in Chalk River. And there's a few locations here in Ontario and out in Manitoba as well that I'm involved in. So it's great. It's great work. It's great to sort of be doing something like that, and you're dealing with past legacies, and I'll just call it restoring the environment back to perhaps the way it should be, or the way it just making some improvements there, and just getting rid of some of these legacies, Peter. So I enjoy it. It's good, And
having an accordion with you, what more could you ask for?
I know, exactly. Yeah.
Have a tune, and but it's how many albums did you make with the Wick Band in the end? Then? Did you make
actually, to be honest, with the Wick Band, golly, so I did the Pride of the North, and I was on Her Caithness Home, Cayley United Mackay's. So it's probably I can't actually think now, but I think it's probably just about the 3 or so that I was actually on myself.
Yeah, and then you worked a bit with Daniel, as you said. And I think, did you say you done sound for Daniel sometimes as well?
I'm not. Yeah,
No, for Brandon. Sorry, Brandon.
Maybe a 3 or 4 with Daniel, and then probably I don't know. God, how many albums has Brandon done? But certainly all his Scottish albums. I've ended up doing second box on them. So there's maybe 7 or 8. I should know, shouldn't I? I should keep a track. But
and then, did you do some live sound? You said for Brandon as well.
And I enjoy that. So Brandon, as well as playing the accordion, as many looking at some of the names, but comments on here, many are aware Brandon does a bit of singing as well, and a mixture of Scottish and country singing. So when we were doing the shows, then Brandon would have probably more a country feel to the band with some get rid of the second box and bring in some guitars and some pedal steel. So I used to enjoy mixing at the back of the theaters, back of the concert hall, and it's just quite nice to be involved with the technology. I'm quite into technology and computers and stuff, and the guys were using digital mixing desks, so we were the monitors on stage, we'd be mixing them on iPads and the likes of that. So I enjoyed that. And you know what, when the band come on and they blast out a song and there's just good bunch of talent on the stage, it's when you've had something to do with getting the sound like that. It's positive. I enjoy it. But it's not. It's
someone from Melbourne saying hello to yourself. That's fantastic.
Cool. Yeah.
Right. But more, it's good though to be involved from the sound side as well, because then you can look at what you're doing live sometimes and think, what am I doing here?
Yeah. It is good, and I think as a sound guy, you hope that 99% of the audience are never aware there even is a sound guy, because when the audience are aware there is a sound guy, it's usually because the sound's rubbish or there's a technology problem. So that's a worse fear. You spend all day working on a stage set up with sound and video, and you know what technology's like. It can fail sometimes.
They're a very difficult job for sound man. Oh, I've got a little echo. I don't know if you're hearing that or not, but it's a difficult job for a sound man. Once I remember being at a festival once, and there was this how shall we put it, fairly elderly singer going on, and they kept saying, "Can you not make me sound better?" and all that to the sound man. And the sound man turned around to me and he says, "When you've smoked 100 cigarettes a day as a singer, and then you sing into a microphone, that's unfortunately what you sound like. There's not much I can do about it, This guy seemed to think the sound man was going to sort all his problems.
At risk of being cheeky, many sound decks do have a mute button on certain channels.
Just made you sound better. Fantastic. Alistair, we've got time for another set of tunes here. The last set you're giving us tonight is, who can remember them? Oh, Lemonville Jig. A Canadian tune.
Absolutely.
Graham Townsend. I saw Graham playing live up here once in Shetland.
Really?
It was a real tragedy when we lost him, quite young, really, in a way. So, he was some musician, absolutely incredible player.
Yeah, I've never heard of him. I have 2 of his music books here, and again, I was sorting out some music last night, and the Graham Townsend Music Book Volume 1 is for sale for like $1.50 or $2.50 on the front of the book. It's like some great tunes in that. Great tunes, yeah.
Oh, he was a fantastic act, really very, very good when he went up and played. So we've got that, and then we've got Joe and Iona's Wedding Jig.
Yep.
And Gillian Stevenson's thing by Ronnie Ross.
Yeah.
Ronnie's an incredibly good player and singer and entertainer as well.
He certainly is, yeah.
I've been in touch with Ronnie just recently in the last 2 or 3 months, actually, just a couple of things we've been working on. And he's great. He's fantastic to work with. And it's amazing the sounds he creates in his studio.
Yeah, no, he's a great entertainer, done some good stuff. I came across Ronnie, he was sort of working with Brandon at some of the sort of shows we were doing there. And that's the first time I came across Ronnie. And yeah, perfect gentleman. And she's got some great stuff on the singing and the playing. So yeah, and Gillian, of course, Gillian's a great fiddler in her own right too. You know?
Absolutely, very, very good. She's been up in Shetland many times, and Ronnie's a very good composer as well. He's got some really nice tunes he's written himself. He's just so quiet. It's getting him to play them to you that's the problem. Sometimes he's got them. There's a lot of them brilliant there. So let's have this wee set of tunes. That's brilliant. Here we go. Yeah, good tunes, good tunes. Lovely. I think my ambition now, Alistair, someday is Daniel, yourself and myself to have a wee tune somewhere. I'd love to do that. That would be good. Sometime when you're home.
Yeah, that would be good.
Sit down and play some of these kind of tunes and some of the Wallach and Moore stuff together.
I know. There's some good tunes there, isn't there? You know.
Yeah, Daniel just loves that sound and he plays these tunes so well whenever I hear him playing them. That's the thing. It's great. I think we should do that. Right, let's make a date for that. When COVID's gone, someday we'll get a tune together.
For definite, yeah.
Good. Brilliant. Alistair, thank you so much for coming on tonight and spending some time with us. Well, you're afternoon.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for having me. You know, it's been good to catch up. Really appreciate it.
I was going to say you could maybe go for a fish supper now, but you don't maybe get fish suppers where you are. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's plenty.
Oh, that's all right. That's not bad.
Chip pits around. Well,
A chip pit.
Yeah.
I like the name of that, a chip pit. Oh, that's good. I always think it's strange when you go to some European countries and you can't get a fish supper anywhere. It's terrible. It doesn't work. But no, listen, thank you so much. Thank you for everything you've done over the lockdown, and you've done that Saturday nights and really kept a lot of people entertained.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of folk have really enjoyed hearing your music.
No, well, thanks for hearing.
Including myself. So it's been much appreciated. So anyway, listen, thank you very much, and you take care, and hopefully we can get together at some point in time. That'll be brilliant.
That'll be great, Peter. Thanks very much, and Davey, good.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Yeah,
thanks, Alistair.
Guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Well, there we go again. Another night in. Fantastic.
Another night.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for sticking with us right through the whole night. We've had two great guests, thanks to Marie Fielding and Alistair McDonald in Ottawa. There. You ever been to Canada, Davey?
No.
No, I've not been to Canada either.
I've not been to Canada.
Right, well, there's something else we'll have to do then. A Tartan Tunes Canada tour.
You paying
Right,
like
yeah, well, no, we'll get sponsored.
Oh, I had a yes. I had a yes there.
No, somebody will sponsor us somewhere.
The,
it's okay, we'll work on that. We'll get sponsored by a canoe company or something.
Kayak
all the way to Canada, eh? We could always set off for Lewis or something. That's closer, isn't it?
I know how much though.
Anyway, that's been really good tonight. I've been fairly enjoyed that.
What's your plans this week?
Just teaching in schools. Lots of teaching. That's about it this week. Yourself? Just work?
I am working, but I'm going to a gig on Saturday night.
What?
A gig, yeah.
My goodness.
I know.
Good.
It's actually one of our previous guests.
Oh, who are you going to see?
I'm going to see Jen Butterworth.
Oh, wow, that would be brilliant.
Ross Ainsley and Ali Hutton.
Oh, well, fantastic. Well, I'm sure you'll meet them backstage or something like that, so say hello to everybody.
Well, I will do, yeah. So that's Saturday night in Stirling. So
turn up and say, I'm with Tartan Tunes.
Make a badge up.
Yeah, do that, and you'll either get in or you'll get thrown out, one or the other.
Well, we've got tickets, so.
You'll get in now.
So that should be good. That's Saturday night next week.
Brilliant. Enjoy. Say hello to all of them. It's nice to see something happening again. Right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tonight. Please share the show about, and next week we'll be back with you, and we're going to be going out on another page next week as well. We're going to be working in collaboration with Music from Scotland as well, and going out on their page next week as well. So we might see some new people, and that's Braemar Media. Yeah, that's what Dale's involved with, and then we've got Music from Scotland. So we're going to try that off for once a month as well to see how that goes. Just as a keeping the music strong and keeping it mixing about, just in case anybody's missed us. You know, because we're quite famous in Braemar now, you and me. You know, we're quite famous there. You know, one afternoon.
That's when they say, "Oh, you're those two." Oh, yeah.
That's that pair that were hanging about busking.
It's only busking if you get money, is it not?
Yeah, and we didn't get any money, so we couldn't have been busking.
It cost us.
Apart for that guy that offered us money to go away.
Yeah. What happened to that?
That's a different. I don't know. Not sure. Anyway.
Oh well.
Right. Brilliant, David. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks very much for joining us again. Join us next week, next Sunday night at 8 o'clock. Two fantastic guests again for you. And I think you're going to enjoy the diversity next week. It's quite different seeing Scottish music from one of our guests. When we say we're going to see music from we would talk about the back line, so like an accompanying musician in a band. See his perspective in the whole thing. And
banjo player?
No, he's not a banjo player. No. No. What's wrong with banjo? I like banjo players. So it's going to be great. It's going to be good. So join us then. Take care, folks. See you later. Bye.
Yeah.